Hello folks, we are back again on the Nordschleife. I'm sorry if you want to see other tracks, but this place is really rather addictive. You become obsessed with getting quicker at this place. It's intoxicating. As you will have noticed, we are at night. So two things. I had planned to try and make my next video for you guys a online race. I have done an online race. So it didn't end well, but you know what, it was going not too bad. I'll get my excuses out of the way. So we didn't qualify very well, as it turned out, nor did a lot of other people. There was over, in a 24 car field, there was only 4 valid laps, and I wasn't one of them. So it then assigns you, I think it assigns you a random space. So I started 13th, I think, or 16th, 13th or 16th. It was a half-an-hour race, which effectively I think is 4 laps. A lot of carnage. I stayed clear of it all, was driving quite well. I was really rather pleased with myself. I think I was 5th or 6th at the time. On my own, no cars in front, no cars behind. I was on the 3rd lap, and in a bit of a section, I think it's called hit miss, or hit miss, or something like that. That's the name of the little S section. I touched the grass with my rear tyre, spun round, and smashed into the barriers. All on my own, totally my own fault. Complete lack of talent. So I decided to do a night race, but then I couldn't find any night servers, so I just started going back to my hot laps, the thing I said I wouldn't do. But I wanted to do some night content, so here we are. We've just turned left onto the Nordschleife now. Same rules apply with night as do on the other tracks. It is bloody hard to know what is coming up. Your braking points, your references are all different. You haven't got the same visual sort of like cues to when to brake, when not to. And this lap you are seeing is legitimately my first attempt at racing this track at night. So we do, spoiler alert, we do make it round. Wasn't a bad lap, but you know the mistakes are in there, the missed braking points going deep into corners. You can see though, we really are much more stable on setup, taking these corners much quicker. My track knowledge is improving. You know, I've been watching some of the esports guys to learn where I'm slow, where I'm not, you know, where I'm doing well. You can see here again, nearly flat through there. Now, the goal is to get flat around that corner. I have got some setup tweaks to make that I've found out from some of the esports people. So we're going to try those. But generally, you know, I'm doing all right. I feel confident now that whether it's a night race, a day race, you know, whether it's rain, I have enough track knowledge to get myself around. I now need the ability, 1, to keep progressing to go quicker, and 2, well, basically not crash, which, you know, is principally, I think, the biggest problem. It always seems to be is concentration. You know, when I did an online race, and it was, you get, I think it was a half-an-hour practice session, of which I joined with about 12 or 13 minutes left. Qualifying is 20 minutes, you know, and then the race. So, you know, the online race is, by the time you combine all that together, it's nearly an hour. And it's no surprise that on lap 3 out of 4, you know, I'm 50 odd minutes into racing at that point. My concentration has gone, and I've touched the curb, or touched the grass, I think it was, and round have gone. So, you know, this is just a case of practice. I'll show you the bit that I came off at. As you can see, the night version of this track is really rather nice. You have a lot of kind of like carnival atmosphere stuff going on the outside. You'll see multicolored strobe lights and, you know, tents and caravans and all sorts of stuff at the side. It's really rather, it's really well done. I think the developers have put so much care and attention into this version. I think they were aware that this track is going to be used for so many endurance races, nighttime, wet, you know, daytime, sunset, all the different sort of parts of the sort of day cycle and weather cycles have been really carefully looked at and presented in the sim, and it's you know, you have to doff your cap to the developers. This is one of the sections I have learned. This is the uphill sort of fast section. I've learned that really I need to tweak my setup. You know, I'm maxing out here. You can see about 249, 250 kilometers just. I should be up at 254-ish with this car, so I'm losing time all the way up this hill. But my setup's good. I can take some of these corners quite quickly. It's nice and stable, so it is a trade-off. You know, if I take off a bit of rear wing, I'm going to lose a bit of the stability. So, you know, I've got to strike this balance. We're now heading up to the carousel. So that first section of track, you know, I'm now pretty confident. Having measured myself against some of the esports guys, by this point, I'm about 6-ish seconds, 6 to 7 seconds off the very top times, which is not bad for the first half of the lap, or first 2/3 of the lap. This section we're on now, this is the poorest part for me, but I am learning how to flow and how to string these corners together properly. We're coming up to this section. That was a mistake there. That was a missed braking point from me. We're coming up to the section here where I touched the grass and went round into the corners, but I am learning to pull these ones together a bit better. It was right here. As you can see, I've just gone off, and this was the corner here that no, it wasn't this one. It was the next one. It was as I come around here. This is actually really quick because you're flat out now, and then you have to slam on the brakes. And I came around this corner, I touched that sort of sand on the left, round I went into the barrier, and that was the end of my race, which is really frustrating because, you know, this is not too far off where the end of the lap. That's probably one of the most technically challenging bits. That corner we've just been on there, I lose a lot of time coming up that hill because I think I'm entering it too quickly, and then I'm scrubbing off on the uphill section. You know, you really want to be coming into that corner, I think, a little slower so you can really actually accelerate through the corner, because it's quite steeply uphill. You're going to lose a lot of time. So these are just little nuances now I need to learn. I'm comfortably lapping in the mid to low 20s now. I think this lap, with all its mistakes, turns out in 8:25 or something like that. So, you know, even that with the mistakes is not too bad. So I am getting there. I think there's comfortably mid-teens coming, you know, once I can string all these laps together and really work on my setup, which I'll be excited to hopefully produce a qualifying lap and get it recorded, and, you know, you guys can see it and hopefully see the improvement from where I started to where I am now. We're coming onto the back straight now. This is again another area where I think a setup change with maybe running a little less ride height, a little less wing, should improve by 5 or 6 kilometers now. What was painfully obvious was when I was doing the race, the Ferrari's not the quickest in the straight line, but things like the Aston Martin and BMW are known for being quick in a straight line, but they were pulling on me. You know, they're probably touching, you can see I'm here, I'm 273, 74 kilometers. They're touching 280, I think. So they were closing on me or pulling on me in this straight, and it was very difficult. And that's just time lost, so I need to work on that, and I think I can do that with setup. And as we come toward the end here, you know, nice and tidy, not too crazy, but, you know, you can see we're in, there's 8:20 on the clock. We crossed the finish line, I think it's 8:25, so we're really not far away from stringing together some good laps in the teens, which, you know, for an amateur, not too bad. But there you go, there's a nighttime lap of the Nordschleife. Hopefully a race video will follow.